So recently, actually, I think it was like yesterday, I was sent this post on TikTok as well as on Instagram of this viral TikToker who many of you guys might know him when you see his face. But he has gone viral many times on social media. Him and his friends get together around the pool and they have to like finish the rap lyric before they throw them in the pool. So he's gone viral a couple of times for that and built like a pretty good following on TikTok. And so recently, again, I think this was in like the past 2 days because people sent this to me yesterday. So I think it's in like the past 2-3 days. He caught his girlfriend cheating in 4K. Okay. And so in the first portion of this video, it is a post that his girlfriend made at the time. It was the same day. And then when it came to nighttime, he posted, he literally screenshotted and posted, this is her post during the day about me, and this is what I caught her doing the same night. So the first portion of the video, you're not going to be able to hear anything because it's like music playing. But then the second portion is going to be him, coming on screen and explaining exactly what happened and what took place. So in the first portion of her post, before I start playing and you see the pictures, she posted and said, "Since I met you, it's been everything with smiles and laughter. I'm glad I took a risk chance because now you're all mine. Hashtag happy, hashtag couple goals, hashtag mine, hashtag love life, hashtag love what you do." On this exact post, it was full of women, oh my gosh, you're so lucky. I wish I could have what you have. Oh my God, what a blessing. Oh, this is amazing. And her giving all this advice on how you can align yourself to be in the best relationship possible. Oh yes, it will happen for you, sis. Like all this, it's going to happen for you. All you have to do is trust this and trust that. And, you too will be as happy as I am because I am really happy. I'm going to go ahead and press play. Same night. Before we get into his explanation, I just have to say, the fact that he, went to her house and literally caught her with his own two eyes. Nobody didn't tell him. It can't be he say, she say. It can't be something that she can kind of like, defend her way out of. Like, that's not what it was. People lying on me or whatever. He was there with his own two eyes. He went to her house and this is what he saw. And to me, was very heartbreaking for a lot of men nowadays, is because can you imagine in a space that you are with a girl, you're dating her, everything is going good, she's making all these elaborate loving posts, she's explaining, she's standing from the rooftop shouting how happy she is to be with you, how in love with you she is, and how this is the best relationship she's ever been in her life. And at the same time, if you are so happy and nothing is wrong, how could you possibly find time or find it within yourself to be able to step out and go be with somebody else? That means that it has nothing to do with the man or anything that he's doing. This is a you problem. This is something within you. Whether it's lack of self-control, whether it's whatever it is. And a lot of women will do these things, step out and do all that stuff, and then turn around and try to find someone to blame. Oh, well, you didn't give me attention. Oh, well, that wasn't fair because I was doing this. Oh, well, I had too much to drink. Whatever it's going to be. They always have someone to point at to say that they're not the problem. Let's listen to his, recollection of everything that happened after he pulled up to her house that night and caught her in 4K.
I met her on some, we was at the bar, cooling, chilling. That's when I was like, hey, I'm going to, did you pull the sheets back? That was me who pulled that was me that pulled it back. Well, yeah, maybe it was in men intuition. Maybe, yeah, maybe. But it was like, the funny part is she put that post out. I was like, oh, she was going hard with the, oh my God, he's so da 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 da. And I can see through the love bombing. You can't just love bomb me. If you love bombing, something is weird. You either clout chasing or something, and, you know what I mean? And being that I understand she got some trauma, I've seen her drunk before. I don't like her when she's that way, and I've seen her black out, and I'm just like, ooh, this is. And I told her about that. I was like, I can't. That ain't cute, boo. That ain't cute. One time I had to pick her up from the bar. I was like, yo, that ain't me. That's what I'm about. That's not what I'm about. So, I mean, I saw it, but, you know, it was a couple red flags, but I just let it rock. Because, you know, it's still early in a relationship. We still learn each other. So then, I'm like, I called her earlier last night. I'm like, we'll do. I went to a comedy show by myself. I like to go by myself, so I went to a comedy show by myself. My cousin hit me, so then I went to see my cousin for a little bit, and then I was like, all right, I'll just pull up at the house. Someone told me to pull up at the house. I don't know why she gave me the key. Like, why would you move that way and go? It just didn't make sense. Why do I didn't ask for a key to your house. Why do I have a key to your house? She was like, well, here's the key. Like, okay. I mean, cool. So I was just about to be like, oh, I had a good night. Let me go back and go and give her that. You know what I mean? But there was something in me. I was like, wait a minute, son. Start recording. Walk in here recording. Some told me. I knew it. I fucking knew it. So then I go in, I see it. I was like, oh, man. I mean, there's more of the video, but it was like she was naked and only had a shirt on, and he had his drawers. He put his clothes on and just walked out. At first, I thought something was wrong because she wasn't moving. Like, she was on some blackout stuff. So I kind of poured some water in her face to wake her up and see what's up. And she just didn't know what was going on. And I showed her the video, and she was like, I don't, and had nothing to say. So I bounced.
So in the longer portion of this video, because this was like a whole video explanation, again, that they sent me on Instagram, and he was like, you know, telling, you know, how they met. You know, they met a couple months ago, and, you know, he met her out and they just clicked, you know, instantly. It was like a very natural connection. They ended up like going out of town together, and, you know, they had spent so much time together ever since. They were in like a full-fledged relationship. And, you know, at the end of this, he talked about how, you know, after this, he left and she came to his house and tried to, you know, beg him to be with her with no explanation of what happened. Then tried to text him later on and guilt trip him into being with her, saying that basically he didn't spend enough time with her that one time, that, like, you know, one day he didn't spend enough time with her. And so basically it's like, what do you expect to happen? Just foolishness. Okay? Foolishness. But again, what gets me is that, you know, this man is literally clearly stating they were in a full-fledged relationship. You know, this woman is doing all the things. She making this whole loving post. She's giving him a key to her house. That means they must have some kind of rapport or relationship for her to be able to give him a key to her house. She, you know, she has a maybe an issue when it comes to, you know, knowing her limit. He said that he experienced that before, but this man was saying that in the talking stages, you know, women always talk about, oh, you know, these guys dating nowadays is too much because these guys they want you to be perfect and they want you to be this and they want you to come without flaws. And we have a man that's clearly stating he saw some things that she might have had to work on, but he was willing to deal and willing to work through and give it a chance because he knew at her core she's a good girl. There was a couple of red flags. He you know, put it in his mental checklist and say, okay, I'm watching this behavior. Again, this is proving that men will sit there and watch you. They will take note. They will take mental note of things very early on. They want to see if the good is outweighing the bad. They want to see if your childhood trauma or, you know, your trauma of the past, if it's going to be too much, if it's something that's too heavy to deal with, is this something that we can both grow with and grow through? Let me see if she's willing to compromise. Let me see if she's a good listener. Let me see all these things. He said, I had a couple things on my mental checklist, but, you know, I was just giving her the benefit of the doubt. So let's debunk that. Oh, that they want you to come perfect and this and that. He's willing and watching, using logic, not emotion to say, oh, those red flags don't mean nothing. Maybe that was her past, but she's not going to do this with me. Not using, emotion to say, oh, I see one thing. Let me go ahead and run away. Logic. Okay. Logically speaking, nobody's perfect. People come with certain things. Let me see. Well, here she come with all the love, the this, the that, the showering him. Only for him to pull up and catch you laid up with somebody else that he don't know, obviously. It's the audacity. This is why men think, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 5 times before even committing to somebody. So many women talk about, why don't you post me on social media? Why you don't show me to your friends? Why you don't do this? Because they have to watch you. Because they're not trying to, post you and get humiliated or embarrassed. They want to see what you're made of. They want to see what you're about. They're not trying to, jump over hurdles to promote this situation that they're not sure about. Oh, well, you're supposed to know in about 2-3 months if you want to marry me. Where my ring at? Okay, he got to watch you. He got to see, again, what you say when he tells you no, how you act when things don't go your way, how you act when you're upset, how you act when you're sad about something. How do you, handle your emotions? What is your emotional maturity level? What am I dealing with? Do you compromise? If I say one thing to you, are you going to start doing all of this? That's real. So many women, well, he's supposed to know in a certain amount of months. And if he don't know, then I'm going to leave him because ain't no way I'm be sitting up here wasting no time with no man. And men are like, okay, do what you got to do, but I'm going to sit here and I'm going to watch. Because what's the rush? I need to know you for real before I commit. I need to know you for real to see if I can trust you with my sanity. Because as lighthearted as this man is taking it right now, it's because it's still early on in the relationship. Imagine if this happened 5 years down the line, how he would feel. Imagine if this happened after marriage and living together. Again, trusting with your sanity. It's a huge deal. Again, nobody's perfect. Obviously, we know that. People go through things. People have problems. People have issues. But at the end of the day, at what point do you expect people to just have to deal with what you have going on? Or when are you going to take your life by the reins and start to fix some of those issues? Because as he stated, in the longer version of the video, she texted him and she's like, oh, well, on Thanksgiving, you weren't attentive to me when I was at your family's house. But you were at his family's house. So because he wasn't attentive to you on Thanksgiving, that gives you the right, weeks later, nearly a month later, to bring somebody back to the crib. If you didn't want to move forward from Thanksgiving, why didn't you take your key then? If you didn't want to move forward from Thanksgiving, why did you make this post in the same night you had somebody laid up with you? That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. And again, this is why I completely understand and comprehend why men sit down, take their time, and watch. Because you can only pretend, but for so long. You can only show your representative, but for so long. That's why sometimes when people, try to send me stuff for me to react to, of people who act like the clear fool, women who are just out there and doing the most, and they saying, what do you think about this? And I'm saying, I think she's being herself. That's what I think. The people who are out there just, buck wild, telling you what they down for, not that the people who are doing that, yes, do that. So that when a man meets you, he know he's meeting you. Don't pretend to be Miss Hoity-Toity and that's not who you are. Because now you're living a lie. Now that's pretend. Listen, I thought this was crazy. Okay, this was absolutely absurd. And again, even worse that he's the one that walked in and saw it with his own 2 eyes. Okay, that's just crazy. I would like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I would love to hear you guys' opinions on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.